All right. Here we are. Plasticity. I'm just getting over being sick. My hair is lovely today, as per usual. Mad scientist look is kind of one of my favorites. So we have this going on right now. Lots left to do, of course, but well on the way. I'm going to make some kneecaps it looks like I need, so let's just give that, I guess, a go. I'm just going to work pretty simply here this morning. Just some type of armored kind of kneecap vibe. Not even sure exactly where I'm going with it, but if you've never used Plasticity before, I highly recommend it. It's very cool. It's very fun. It's very fast. That's a big one for me. Because, I've got so much important time to worry about. Just saying. You never, ever know. What am I doing here? Excuse me, still trying to get over this really horrible cough, whatever it was. Is that creating me a duplicate? I don't think it is. So let me just do this again, and we will now, pretty sure it was Shift D, but it doesn't seem to be duplicating. Oh, it's because I'm doing the points. Got to be on the lines. That ought to make everybody go away real quick. All right, here we go. Shift D. And now we're going to move this guy. Let's get him over this way. Something about like this. And we're going to agree to that. And I'm going to Shift D again and get this over. One more. About there. Something like that. And I'm thinking about making the middle one a bit longer. So let's just see how, cool that can be. I'm just going to select actually all of these. I was going to select just the two end ones, but now I think I will go with all of them. Get this one a bit stretched higher like that. And you guessed it, we're going to loft between this, and this. I'm going to click L. See what we come up with here. I think that looks pretty good. Let's try the different sets here. G1, G2. I think it's all good. I'm just going to say okay. I do relatively, I like that pretty well. Let's get rid of our little polylines here. And before we do anything else, I think I'm going to try and join this side with this one. That didn't work. Let's say this is my guide, and no, that's not going to work either. Let's just go ahead and grab maybe all three sides and loft now. Maybe that will work better, and it does not seem to be the case. Okay. Thought you could loft at an angle like that. Perhaps not. Let's go ahead and do it anyway, and then change our angle there, and that'll be fine. It's just that I'm not going to get that nice roundedness there, but I can definitely fix that. So I'm just going to agree to this, and let's do the other side now the same way. L, and make sure that it's only at the G0. I don't think increasing the tension is going to help there, but we're perhaps decreasing it here might be all right for us. Let's just try that on both sides. Maybe we'll get a small curve out of it, possibly. I'm still going to have this non-connected part here, and I don't think there is a way for me to connect these parts unless I lofted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this business. We're going to reloft it. I am going to go back to like a G1 and take this down to 0.3 or something like that. I think it was on both of these. And now I think I can use this as a guide, perhaps. Let me see. I kind of messed that up. So let's try again. Boom, boom. Put back to my room. And put this back to 0.3. And 0.3. Trim overlap guides profiles. I think I have to actually click. I don't know why that's not working. So let's try this one more time this way. And we're going to go 0.3. See if this does any better. And seemingly not. It absolutely does not like 3 of those done. That's fine. I will figure this out. There are things about plasticity I don't know about. And I'm always trying to figure that out. So we shall see in the end. So I'm going to leave it about like so. And then start softening these up using our favorite friend, the fillet. Let's just see what happens when we fillet those are obviously separate pieces. As you can see, these have been lofted like so. So what we're going to do is try and let's combine them together. I'm just going to grab these separate sheets now. Look what you've done to my sheets. And we're going to join those together in one. And then I'm going to come in and, of course, thicken this sheet. Get my sheet together as much as possible, like that'll ever happen. Ha ha ha. And let's just not do that there. Let me see if I can go maybe to the outside with that and it'll be better. Maybe not much. So we're getting this really weird spike thing happening. So it is a possibility that I must grab these pieces like so and just maybe extrude them as opposed to that. So let's go with extrude, push in, pull out. Nope, doesn't want to extrude either. Cool. Well, this is how we and then we're gonna trick another do a little trick here and close up all of our where's my patch here? When I find it, there's thicken. We want to just patch this together, and I don't see the tool for that now. I don't want to do that either. Oh, this is so much fun. I love frustration. It's my favorite thing in the world. If nobody knows that about me. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. We are going to have to take this and just fill the holes on it. Man, I cannot get a good angle on this to save my life. Let's go back to the solid and see. That's what I was looking for. Patch holes. Now we'll have the back side patched, which is good. And this angle is killing me. And then this, wow. I don't know why it resets like that. And then this can be hollowed, I believe, from this back side here. I'm going to grab this face and say hollow a solid right here. And it should allow me to hollow that from the back side exactly like I want. So there we go. So there's always a way around, you know, that issue of it not doing that thing. And that looks okay. We'll have to tilt that, but also I was wondering if I should, you know, add a little more flair to this, and probably so. So I'm going to grab all the outside edges here now, just these 4, and let's see about offsetting those inward. There we go, something like that to a degree. And then we're going to extrude these faces, or at least, you know, make them like a thickened barrier to some degree. Let it do the kind of a natural thing, because it looks kind of much cooler and sci-fi-er. Let's see about pulling these out individually, if that will kind of make this better or worse. I kind of don't like that. So let's go ahead and undo that and kind of come back and do the milder version. Okay, that works for me. Let's go ahead and give this plate kind of an inset here. So I'm just going to grab it, make another one of these lovely offsets. We don't get our gizmo, I don't know why, but let's go ahead and do like that. We'll take it and pull it where it, well, we need to extrude that instead, so we're just going to E, pull it forward. Yes, we want that to be all one body, so we'll just leave that as, let's go ahead and pull this forward. Nope, that is offset again. Let's go try it one more time. E, we are going to extrude this, but we do want this to be like a union, so I'm going to go Q, pull forward, just enough to get a little ridge going there. Right click. Man, it does not want to do it, so let's just pull forward. Oh, Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. E, pull forward. We're going to create new body, so I'm just going to hit B, right click, and there it is. If we want that to be a separate or a joint piece, we go back into our main selection here, QQ it, and it becomes one, but that doesn't still seem to be wanting to. I'm just going to grab this guy and sort of pull it back slightly into it. It may or may not work, and then we will Q. Grab this one, Q, right click, and nope, still the Boolean is not working on that. It's got to do with the fact that this has that double inset or whatever, but we will try to fix that up here real quick and make it still work. I'm just gonna give a little bit of roundedness to these guys here, this whole edge. It is missing. There's pretty much no softness to that at all, which we need. We need some softness, and I'm just going to come this way here on that. And I was wondering maybe if I should probably include that, but maybe these four. Let's go ahead and just get a good amount of these, maybe close to all of them. Not quite sure just yet, but let's just stick with this for the moment. I'm just going to pull these out to round slightly, and it's not going to let me because there's too many complex shapes. You gotta love it. Let's see about pulling this one back in for now, because that was one of my main problem areas is when this all went down. Let's just kind of fake that around to where no one will know. No one will know. Okay, and then, yeah, that's all right. We'll do these four. And this was a mistake with all that, but hey, you know, worse things have happened. I mean, not to me, but I'm sure to somebody. Cool. And let's go ahead and get these rounded out. You can hold Control and Alt at the same time and select all of those. I'm just going to pull these back in where they kind of form with the rest of it a little better. Maybe even, you know, these guys as well. Come on, select them now. There we go. We'll pull those in, rounded out. Just where they're not clashing too hard with, you know, sharp and rounded edges on stuff. I like to keep it, at least make it look like the same company made all the parts. At least that's what they say. And I don't know who they are, but it sounded good for a minute. And let's go with that. Okay, well, not my favorite, but I'll live with it. This one probably needs one as well, and it's going to be probably arguing against me. There, that does blend and work, and now it's symmetrical as well. Good to see. It's possible we're going to go ahead and grab these two as well. And those were wanting to blow up pretty good. Let's undo that. Do these one at a time probably. So I'm going to grab this one and roll that one. Am I rolling it in? let's undo. We'll grab this one, pull that down. Same thing over here. And that is where my problem area is, apparently. Let's figure out what's going on there, and I'm sure it is all about that curve. That is some junk, if I ever saw it. There's somebody out there right now going, don't let it go, dude. Don't let it go. But I very well may have to. So, haha. Alright, so we'll just round out this one a little bit. Get this one rounded a little as well. And probably this guy, which may or may not work. Let me see if I can go ahead and extend this one out. I'm sure I cannot. That will have to somewhat work for now. And then this is the one that's just the giant beast that is killing it all. Let me see what can be done. That at the very least, it's not perfect, but it will work. Cool. And then just a slight bit of messing around. This is just me hiding edges. You know, gets the job done momentarily anyway. All right, that's fine. That's fine. And I'm not going to worry about that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get most of this. Just for a softer all the way around the edge there. These probably won't matter, but hey, why not? Actually, let's grab everything here. Because if we do see it, alright, that works for me. I need to figure out a way to attach these dudes. They do have to pretty much sit where they are. So this very well may come down from this top leg piece as kind of a 2 bars kind of thing, or even a side piece. But let's get this angled right first and foremost. So like I said, this is just kind of sketching my way through it, you know, making it up as I go type of a project here. Let's undo that and join these now. Does that work? Yep. Okay. And then we'll rotate it more like so. Move it around. These could be bigger, possibly. I'm just going to kind of check. I don't want it dainty, you know. So let's go ahead and we'll scale this. And I want to scale this, change my pivot here to something more. So sorry. It's been one of those weeks. Kind of like that, I suppose. Protect that joint. Looked at it from the front here again. Let's kind of get that really over the top there. I think that pretty much looks better. It's a little weirdly flat in my opinion. So let's scale this maybe this way now. Don't know if I'm liking them. Okay, that's not cool. Okay. All right, so let's just kind of make a bracket essentially from here and here. We're going to make sure that it's, you know, lets this lower leg go free. And I think I'm just going to make a rectangle to start with. It just comes from this one to probably somewhere in here, because this is going to just kind of be part of this ring this disc here. And just grab this, move it over. This would have been better for us to leave that upright in the beginning, but it's all right. Close enough for government work, as they say, whoever they are. I'm going to move back here to kind of figure out just how thick this part should be and how offset from that they should be. That looks good. Let's go ahead and extrude this piece at least inward a bit. That is going to be part of that, so that's okay. And I'm going to get rid of this rectangle. And now bring this half forward. In fact, that probably should go ahead and be not pulled back so far, so it feels like a separate manufactured piece there, like that. Let's go ahead and now kind of correct the outside of this one slightly. And I think for connectivity, I'm going to just probably chamfer this edge down. And we can find a nifty way to make some cutouts. I just don't want it to look stupid. In fact, I'm thinking now of maybe pulling this whole end forward. Not the chamfer, but the other end like this. Maybe hold me closer, tiny chamfer. Maybe both ends, and now I can grab that, move those forward. Yep. We can make this into an actual clip or something. Maybe pull this one back out slightly. Something like that. Maybe make this one a little bit less in there to keep that gap going there. Maybe a little J kind of or Y kind of tail that comes off of this one as an afterthought type piece, I think would be interesting. I don't know if that's how it would go or should go, but I think it might be an interesting way of the people who made this to have handled it, because that's what that's all about. Make it one piece to start with here, and then possibly break this into two pieces. Just grab this and pull it up to that line. I think that will work okay. Just going to pull this now through. Get rid of this line just to get it out of my way. I think that'll work for the moment. I'm just blocking that out though. I'm not like giving that as a final piece, but trying to figure out where this lives. Let's give this a more appropriate angle on everything. Grab that, pull it with the correct pivot now. Probably this one straight out, not inward, but let's use the pivot of this face at least. And then I'm going to thin out that just a little bit by pushing the main overall face of this back in, which is probably going to be way too much, but hey, you know. Okay, I think that works for me momentarily. And then we're going to do some stuff to it to make that not so basic. Because that, like I said, it's just a block in. I think this one also probably needed a bit more lean than it got. But I think from the top, if I just create a cutout, I think I need an arc though. More than likely, something that's a little more from here. Kind of a thing. What are you doing, Junior? Let's cut that section out. And then I think that is okay for that, but I'm kind of surprised I'm not seeing it come through the bottom. Let's hide that. Okay, that's because it is thinner. So we'll undo that cut. That cut really needs to follow through on that line. So I think what I wind up doing here is taking let's just grab this, let everything go. I'm going to make one line that goes from the end of this to the other end of our arc here, which should give me, yeah. And then we're going to take that whole business, and I'm going to lift it out of there. And I am also going to make sure that these pieces are one again real quick. Then we're going to make a piece that will be used to cut that away, because the angle that it's on is going to be kind of odd. There's 100 ways I can go about this, but you know, it's 12:30, right? Let's put this way. Let's rotate this. And I'm wanting to just pretty much follow this line with that, I believe. So I am going to now, did I just mess that up? Looks as though I have. Let's go ahead and join those then. And then now we will take that curve and rotate it appropriately. And then we will take, why does that look weird? Oh, it's just the gizmo I'm looking at. Then we will take the face of it, and we will use our V right here to determine where this extrudes. And then now we'll use it as a difference of that and be done. So let's go ahead and get rid of this curve. Turn off all of our other lines there. That's a decent start. Not exactly what I was wanting to do, but it does work better. So now, I think if I just pull this in a little bit now, that will start to fix the back which I can live with. And then, don't think I can do it on this piece, but it would be cool if I could draft this from here, and it's going to say no, but guess what? It is letting me, so that's not a bad thing. Cool, and then I need to somehow throw like a knuckle or something on here. So what I'm going to do is take this, pull it out, see how much more that helps, which that is definitely helping, but not solving the problem at least, but it is helping. That is kind of somewhere down the line where I wanted. We will chop into this a little more, I think, and let's see, with this, that might have to just chop. Might be able to do it with just a chamfer here and all of the weird things that could be done. Don't know if that is appropriate. Looks bad. But I think it might work just for this crazy moment. And then we'll take this one and chamfer it back just enough maybe that we can steal back that edge. It's different, but it works. We'll try this one the same way. All right. For some reason I got Old Town Road playing in my head over and over again. What a song to have that happen with. Okay, so we're going to grab this and this. I'm going to try and round these guys out, probably using all three. All right, that's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Let's grab these. Just do a small, not the end one though. We don't want that. So a small little bit. And the top right here, just a small one as well. Our medium kind of thing. And then maybe the inside of this one. Same here. All right. Yeah, it's an impromptu kind of piece there, but it works. It does work. And let's go ahead and chamfer this one in. So I want that to kind of feel more intentional, like an edge. And I think I can live with that for the moment, at least on that little piece. We can throw in, you know, a bolt or whatever, and everything is hunky-dory. I might just throw on a little makeshift bolt kind of thing right here. Maybe up the... Let's undo that. I want to put on my X-ray so I can see what I'm doing. And we will just recreate that. Pull that out. Let's go from just 6. There we go. And grab that. Try to snap this to the outside surface better, which it's not doing only because it's at an angle. Oddly enough, let's go ahead and rotate. Get this somewhat close anyway. Grab that. Snap it as best as possible this way, which I know it's not because it's still at an angle of some kind this way. Just kind of look from the top here. Just going to rotate it this way slightly. Maybe slightly back. The other back. Okay, close enough. Some of those edges are not pretty to me. And let's go ahead and just extrude that one out. All right, good enough. Let's just go down. I'm just sketching essentially, so, you know, don't judge. Lots of leftover edges here. Should have done this with, but he's fine. They're ugly. Okay, cool. So there's that. That is, I think, okay. I might throw on a little detail, which is a huge pain in the butt given the angle of this thing, but guess what? It's actually easy when you do this to it. Create a temporary construction plane right on the part that you need. And I'm just going to make a small circle here. I'm going to duplicate that circle and drag it down here. And then we can take, let's just make a rectangle actually. And just make another one to here. And now I can delete these inner, I believe I can anyway, these inner bits. Yep. Let's get rid of these and these. Now we have this nice cool dude. We grab the curves. I'm going to join them. Oops. I'm going to join them all together. I do not have that. There we go. Here and here and here and J to join them together. And now I can array these across this area. We're only going to cut these down to about 3 or 4. That works right there. And then we're going to take all these faces. I'm going to eat into the side of this thing with the W. We're going to pick that bar and push these in just a bit like so. And now I can get rid of this surface here. All these done. And I don't know why I still have a blue here like a curve. That's, oh, because I'm still selecting the plane possibly. Let me make sure of that. Interesting. What do we got going with that? Oh, temporary construction plane. That is why. And okay, good to go. Then we're going to go and grab these edges here. Just kind of get those slightly rounded. And then these edges here. And do a little chamfer. Hold me closer, tiny chamfer. Okay, and then we're going to grab these. Pull those out just around slightly to catch some light. And I think that part is done, at least the other upper stretch of that. Need to sort out this bracket here now, which I'm not sure if I'm doing it in 2 parts or if I want to make this, we'll find out, just maybe with a curve in it right here. Instead, I don't know why that did that, but okay. Let's grab now the edge here, and maybe this one here, and round these a bit. Feels a bit more techy. And I'll come back to this because I don't know exactly how that's going to work. It might put a slot in this though, now that I think about it. So let's grab that face. We'll go into the temporary construction plane. And I'm just going to grab, let's say, just a circle. Let's do that circle down here. Like maybe that big, and then we'll grab it and move it over to the center a little better. And I'm going to grab a couple of lines and just pull this up in here to where, you know, we don't know exactly where that's going. And down here again, I think that will work okay. I'm going to get our trim tool right here. And then that particular slot will be actually pushed all the way through. And let's just Whoop, not like that. We need to do the W. Let me just make sure we're grabbing the correct thing. Now we're going to go W and through this one and say OK, push through and right click done, and now we have that. So kill that construction plane and everything else and the curves like so, and done. Needs to be a little notch out or something right through there. Easily done as well. It's just a matter of saying where. Oftentimes I will just make a line and pull that away so that it stays parallel. I mean, you can even do what I just did here. It makes no difference. And then we can cross another line doing the same kind of thing. Here to here maybe. And then another one here to here. Trying to snap. There is some kind of thing there, but that's okay. And then, of course, I can at any time match up my other two. And we should get a flat surface out of that. Let me at least trim these out and see what happens. So that definitely trim away, Dixieland. And not sure why we don't have a plane there just yet, but it's probably because these are not joined. So we will take them now and join them together by clicking J. And now we do have that piece we need. And with this face, we will select it. We will click W, select this box, and pull this up to where we now are biting into that. And kind of need to be able to see this piece and where it is going to come up. So it's really this. Looks like we're going to have to actually hide this box here. Let's just click H. So this is the plane we want to pull upward. I'm just going to go a bit. I'm going to pull it too far, and then we could push it back down once we get our other piece back in here. I'm just going to make sure of what we can see and what we can't. I guess that's pretty okay where it's at. Now, we do have an odd polygon there. Not exactly sure what that's about, but we will just cut across this, I hope, with no problems. Oh, you know what it is I didn't pull that piece down as well. So let's grab this curve. We're going to just repeat this action real quick, if you'll see what I'm doing. G, I'm going to pull this down slightly, and we're going to extrude that up just to get rid of this little clipping edge here. So we just go W, click this, pull up, and it'll snap that off. Excuse me. And then done. Alright, so now this can look like it has a little bit more of a purpose. We'll round these out just for that exact reason. So this has this full right here, which is cool because it gets rid of your extra bit there. And I think that will work for me at the moment. I mean, this is just one of those things that's a detail you'll never see, but might as well flesh it out a little. I'm thinking about putting, and I think about putting a lot. Now, what I mean is I'm thinking about putting a little kind of slot or something going on here too. What I might do is just take this piece and copy it. And I think it's Control, I don't think it's a standard. Is it Alt-C or is it Shift Control C? Yeah, it's Control Shift C. And then I can stick this here. Not sure why it didn't paste in. Let's try that again. Control Shift C. Yes, we do want it here. Control Shift V, maybe? Huh. I am not seeing it appear anywhere, which is a little bit disturbing. That's okay. I'll just copy it and paste it in. Not sure why it's doing that, but Control C, Control V. Actually, just Shift D. We'll just do that for now. And I'll just put one down here and move it where it needs to go. It's a little disturbing that I couldn't do that right now because that'd been really nice, but all right. Might even want to put a slot cut into this area here. That's the beauty of this program. You just keep going and going and going and going. It doesn't really lock you up or anything. Let's go ahead and grab a rectangle. Hopefully this will be just fine to do from here. And then I will adjust the points or rotate the rectangle. Just rotate it. I made it a little off there, didn't I? That's okay. Grab that and pull it forward, and everybody's happy. Because this is kind of cut into this one anyway, and I do need to make that slightly narrower. So scale, and we're going to go Z to localize, you know, the direction this is going to scale in, what axis that is anyway. And I'm going to grab and move that, and V, do that again, so what, you know, there we go. And then now we can take this dude, extrude it in, and W, subtract it from this one, and then we go in, it chops it right into there, and all is good. And just grab that rectangle and delete it. And then of course we need to hide this other piece here temporarily, just so we can pull this face out. Good enough. And turn this one back on. That really has a nicer kind of mechanical, you know, actual feel to it now. Grab this plate here and move that one forward now. No, that's not the one I asked for. Come on. Come on, buddy. What are you doing? No. No. Okay. We're going to live with that for a moment. I gotta figure out how to get to that one, but it's not killing anything, so I'm not really that worried. Let's go ahead and grab our... Oh, that didn't want to take. That'd be the reason why. So, weird this. It's keeping wanting to break about there, so let's just go that way. Accept it, and that's probably why this other face wouldn't move a minute ago. It couldn't be selected, so there we go. Let's just do that. Grab our edges. You always want to right click and agree. And that's part of my issues sometimes, is I do forget to accept what I've done. Don't we all in life? And then kind of shove this back to give me a little bit of a chamfer there. Just enough. We want to catch the light with a lot of these edges here, so we don't want to round them or anything, but we don't want them so perfectly crisp that they look fake, which they often do. So I'm going to grab this one just in case we do see it from the other side, and just slight round on those. And you'll see when we put this on how the light really can catch on certain shapes. I'm just going to go with the red now, and it gives you a pretty good indicator. Let's turn the lines off as well, and you'll see what I mean. These edges really pop now, and you'd never see those otherwise, you know. That really just kind of shows up geometrically, I mean, all these would not be shown without that little edge I just put on. And yeah, not perfect geometry, but it will work in the, you know, context of what we're building. I think that works for me. I like that. It's different. I'm gonna have to repeat that to the other side. It's gonna give me all kinds of problems, which I absolutely love. So keep that in mind. And we're just gonna Alt X those. So we have these on both sides, but we don't have a kneecap here, so that's why that isn't there yet. And then I'm going to duplicate this guy here and manually position it, which will be a huge pain. But let's just go ahead and duplicate, shift over. This will be on the inside for the most part. Looking from the front, I'm going to go back to our non-rendered, and with our lines, edges make this so much easier to see. I'm going to rotate everything now. Tilt that right how it should be for the most part. Grab this now and pull it in and or down. I'm trying to match this other side somewhat. So right above that curve-ish area, something kind of like that. I will have to rotate this around to be a bit more correct. And that should be right. I'm just going to push this more inward. I think that'll be somewhat correct. I should be able to live with that. And then with that selected, now I can remirror that over back to the other side. So we just Alt X all of that now from here to here. And then when we take our kneecap and Alt X that one over, everything should line up left to right and be the same. And we're good to move on. Need to figure out what I'm doing with these hips, as they look a little silly right now. Just swinging legs with the balls. So I think these are going to have pistons, maybe triple kind of pistons happening there. Not sure that are going to sort of actuate this leg position somehow. At least one coming in from the inside. More than likely there would be, you know, at least 3 in there. I do want to put some kind of foot on this. It still feels a little longer overall than I wanted it to. I want it to be kind of stubby, and it's getting away from that a little more. So let's just go ahead and try and mess it up here. And I'm going to just hide pretty much all of this and this. We're going to take this one and see about making that a little shorter, just like we did with the upper arms. And I'm going to go ahead and unhide whatever these are. It looks like we're missing a few others. Not sure why there are so many. Oh, it's all those little extra knee pieces. It's going to be my new band name, Knee Pieces. I've had plenty of knee pieces in my life because I've broken, or at least chewed up, some serious things. So I'm trying to figure, what is that? That's the window. Why? Oh, it's got a different, that little extra bit there is just saying it's got a different material. And because that has now been moved up, I'm going to take this guy, delete that. I'm going to actually delete everything on this side. And then we're going to grab everything from here, look for it from the front, grab it, move it into the position it should be in. Cool. And then now we're going to take that and Alt-X that over to where we have the final leg there. And then this one, of course, has to be Alt-X'd over as well. Cool. So now we've got the shorter legs kind of ready for our feet. I think it looks a little less feminine. You know, I like the more squat, odd body. This needs some work, obviously. Let's see. What is it missing? Obviously our mounts for all of this stuff, but I may eventually do away with these hips. I don't know. It needs guards, but I think these might be a little too roundy, bubbly, and happy. And some type of foot shape, and I don't want it to be big, blobby, or anything like that. I just kind of want something that's suitable. So I might go with the sphere just to start with. And that's definitely going to need to be adjusted. From the front. I don't know if I just want to do a sphere. Maybe. Let's at least cut it in half. Get that going. Something like along this line. Grab that. Cut it using that. Get rid of this. That is better for sure. And I'm thinking that this needs a cut through. Maybe not the entire ball. I think this ball, though, needs its own cut through. So if we make two circles here, like that, and this, you can cut through that foot, but is that leaving me enough? Which I don't think so. So we're going to select both those and pull them up a little higher. There we go. And then now I believe I want to cut the foot using this and this. We'll get rid of all that, and we are left with this sort of foot shape. Cuts through. I think I like that. Then we will need to cut the leg. I want to see where my football resides. Let me see. Yeah, I don't like the fact that you can't get full see-through on this, you know. I only get that much, and I really want to see these lines in here, and don't know how. Don't know why they don't let you do that. Let's just make probably a circle somewhere here. It's probably too high. Grab that, pull it down. I think that'll be fine. And then I want to create a couple of curves that go ring. That isn't too high, actually, now that I look. This will need to be above that. And then these curves can now come down from there. We zoom in here and get this to somewhat do that. And then this one to do the same. Okay. Let's see if all those are going to wind up on the same plane, which they need to. Selecting lines and this and this. I want to make sure those are of the same plane. I think they are. Can I join them? We shall see. Nope. And let's go ahead and trim at least this one out. I very well trim there. There we go, like that. And then these guys, I hope, will stay married here. Here, does that join? They do, thank goodness. So now I can take this guy and cut it using this one. And we can now remove this lower section, leaving us with something like that. I very well may, yeah, I'm going to build in a thing here that allows that to have kind of a rotating joint, obviously. And then we can pull these lines out. Turn off this see-through for the moment. Okay, it's working for me. I'm going to round over, I think, these edges now. I always worry about doing that too early so that, you know, I get these bulbous edges that I didn't want yet, but I think I want them now. I think that's okay. And what I was saying was putting on some type of a area to create a hinge, you know, within there. That looks all right, I think. And let's go ahead and cut this bottom foot part here, just like, you know, something kind of like that. But I'm thinking if I can get away with it, adding a little bit of a toe detail. And this would add in, you know, front and back. If I could see everything. Let me just hide this real quick. There we go. This has to be on the same plane, of course. Just kind of get this kind of there, making sure they're not, which they are not. So I'm going to grab this one, grab and move forward, then hold control and snap it to where it is the same plane, and then of course trim anything that's overlapping, like that little guy. And we do not need this one now. Thinking about duplicating that actually. Let's just go ahead and grab the curve. We're going to join all these together for the moment. And then I'm going to duplicate it and drop it down slightly. And scale it in slightly. And then move it over a little bit. All right, let's see where we're at when we turn our foot back on. I think that will be fine. So I'm just going to grab these two for the sake of being able to see them easier and pull them forward. And then this foot now, let's go ahead and cut it using this and this We're good, and I'm going to not delete anything but the curves. And then this can be sized inward to work as a, not a bevel, but you understand, lip like that. And then this last one I think should go ahead and come out farther to kind of make for like the sole of the foot. I think you're doing yourself a nice place to stick a toe, quite possibly. So let me go ahead and save this for the sake of doing so. Control S, not Control Z. That's the exact opposite. Okay, so that is working. This is going to have either hinges here or hoses here and a hinge here. That's something to be decided later on. So we have that nice toe-ish area on the back. But it is rather open here, so that's something to think about too. There could be hoses, there could be, you know, ankleness, paw ankleness. You never know. Lots to think about. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it over just so I can see it with all parts. Let's go ahead and go and kill this one. And then we'll just grab these 2, 3, 4, which that does need to be addressed at some point. That is an extra piece. In fact, let's go ahead now and go ahead and combine those together, because in here I will not be using them separately. And let's just mirror both of these over. And there we go. Still not digging these hips as much, and now I'm thinking these lower legs are even too long for him. Let's see about that. Hopefully I didn't mess up the way these feet are going to fit inside. And it might actually fit better, who knows. I've surprised myself worse. Okay, I think that actually fits better overall. This will have to be addressed at some point here. But that can also be pushed up separately from the inside, so it's not like that's an issue. I think those can be pushed, yeah, maybe not separately, but all this can be pushed together. If nothing else, let's undo. Alright, so that will live like it does for the moment until I sort out what I'm going to do with it. I think overall it looks pretty good. It's got my little knee flaps going. The joints are good. Need some maybe venting on the back or something like that, or ports for some hoses. Now it makes it a little more dangerous for, you know, being attacked and getting things exposed. But if no one said this was a war machine, did they? No, they didn't. We could also put the legs higher up in there. Let's see what it looks like with these things hidden real quick. I'm almost thinking that the body is not squat enough. It's just a bit tall. But if I do that, it will totally stretch my armholes there. Might have to recut or something. I do not know. I mean, it's pretty good. Let's get the arms on and find out, because it's really gonna depend on that. Need to figure out how I'm gonna do those hip parts. I do not know if I like the ones I've got, so they feel a little like a bread box or something odd that I'm not thoroughly happy with. Also need to decide, I think this is going to flip out with the stairs kind of inside it, or ladder or whatever. It's another thing that's going to have to be determined. Toggle overlays, guess we want them, because I'm going to rotate this eventually, but it needs to rotate from, kind of like this point at the bottom, so that when this opens we get that. And I need to figure out, just how steep, whatever this is going to hang, how tall is a person compared to that, I think a person is approximately as tall as that hole, maybe a little less, This will eventually have to be cut out as well. Let's go ahead and save that again. And I think that's all I'm going to show today. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.